So I was sitting here getting a gameplay clip for an upcoming video, and it's a very fun project I'm working on, but what I realized is this character is actually kind of strong, and I am really curious now. Can a random brawler, random as in my own brawler, solo Great Barrow? Specifically, we're going to be doing the Theater Wing. It's not the whole Great Barrow that we will be trying. And I realize this is a fairly random video, but sometimes I love these more old school commentaries, and I think it's just something fun to try if a random level 21 brawler here in the DPS spec of all things can actually solo Great Barrow here. So I actually have to remember how to play the class. That's a part of the random part. Is I don't play brawler that much. This character's still level 21, and the other one that I valor boosted is still like level 106. I haven't played them. So I think it's really interesting to try this on a class that I'm maybe less familiar with and haven't played as much lately, and not even remembering the exact mechanics of my abilities. So it's a little bit of a learning experience as well. But look at this character just punch these wights and defeat them. I'm really curious how the bosses will go and the different instance mechanics that we might have to go through. But so far it is mostly a breeze, and I haven't even had to use my cooldowns. I did finally use one of my stuns there, but I haven't had to even use too many of my resources, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, y'all can let me know if you play Brawler. I see a lot of people say that they like their Brawler while leveling, and it's, you know, pretty good, but this contrasts my high level experience on the Brawler a lot, and this character is significantly stronger than I would have expected based on the high level Brawler experience. So I know Brawler has gotten some updates in the past few months after their launch, and I have occasionally played my Brawlers when they have gotten updates to check that out and just for other random things, but it's also possible that the updates have actually changed a lot of different things with them to just make them stronger as well, so it's not even necessarily just the contrast experience. Also, some combinations I'm using, I actually don't even know if I'm actually doing the right one. So I believe if we do the Sinister Cross will give the innate strength buff twice. So if I used a utility ability like Helm's Hammer, it would give that one twice, and I remember that one actually being strong, but that's not even a mechanic I have on this character, so I shouldn't pay too much attention to that. Another thing that I noticed, despite the recording that I was specifically getting for the video, that at this point it's a secret project, but Pummel is actually not too terrible. I remember Pummel was a complete joke when the Brawler first came out because it was a very terrible ability that essentially did no damage and was actively harmful to cast because it just took so long, first of all, for the channel, and second of all, basically got no useful damage out of it. Wow, the stun is really not helpful. 15 seconds stun, that is quite crazy. I know there are some long ones in LOTRO, but that one's excessively long. I mean, that's like, if I were trying to do this as a no death run, that's about a guarantee that I wouldn't be able to succeed. And I guess that's another random note, is that I am in the DPS spec again. I'm not even doing this in tank spec, where I think even at this level you'd probably have a decent bit more survivability. Okay, so I guess we are back here and just going to fight this battle caller. I do have to remember which of these abilities is which. Okay, so that's Shattering Fist, and that's Overhand Smash. I was thinking I had Fist of the Valor for some reason. That's like way down here at the bottom of the trait tree. For some reason, I was thinking that, I guess, Overhand Smash, I was using Fist of the Valor the whole time. So I can, play things a little bit differently here. Gotta remember the corruption removal still does really good damage, can definitely see that. But yeah, I think using Shattering Fist a little bit more often for the debuff. It's not the strongest debuff, but working that in a little bit more frequently would be good. It also does look like it does a little bit more damage than Overhand Smash, so just another thing to remember. Okay, I think I'll focus on the Bow Lords here, except I lost my opportunity for first strike there. And then I think Control 2, yeah, that would be my interrupt, so that is also good to know that I have that. And then my buffs, I actually have no idea what these are. So Ignore Pain, that's right, that's the defensive buff icon used in a lot of other classes, but it's the debuff removal here. And then we have Joy of Battle Damage, so that one actually is a buff, okay. For some reason I was thinking that was the stance, but the stance is something else then. And then we have, I think, our healing, or reduce incoming damage. This would be Weather Blows, that cooldown. So both of these reduce incoming damage actually, but Joy of Battle is the one that gives the buff. So each attack gives me a buff up to a maximum of 10 stacks there. Don't you love that I decided to try this challenge sort of randomly, and didn't even know what all abilities this character has. That's part of the fun of it to me, though. Let's try this pommel again. I was pretty impressed last time. Okay, so with these barrel lights, I think the mechanic is that you just have to pull all of them in the series. We won't bother with that now until we get all the trash dead, but that is something that could potentially be a challenge. But as long as we know that that's how the mechanic works, then we should be able to get through it just fine. I'm also still, out of just habit, using the old combinations that it's basically muscle memory from the little bit that I do remember, because I actually did seriously learn the Brawler when it came out. I just haven't played it much lately. But I'm still using some of those old mechanics and I guess rotation pieces from that, certain setup abilities followed by your finishers, or in this case the corruption removal in particular, because I knew that did tons of damage and worked with whatever innate strength. Actually getting that buff wasn't terrible. Maybe she will have been pet enough now. We'll see. That totally distracted me. Where do I need to go? We'll go ahead and get a couple of these bow lords here. All right. Like, I just don't get this character's damage. I know he does have their item level 23, so they're not like insanely high, but he does have the scaling, not scaling, but the battle gauntlets that you get every few levels, I think from back in Gundabad. But his, oh my, this gear is worse than I thought. So I thought maybe I had okayish gear, but this gear is quite atrocious. It's like normal gear, but normal gear at this level is atrocious in LOTRO. Normally you'd craft yourself some gear to get anything halfway decent. I did not realize how terrible his gear was, though. That makes this all the more impressive to me. Wow. Okay, these guys, you do have a good mischance on them. So we'll have to really utilize that throw. I don't know if I can quite pull 4 lights in time just using the throw, but we'll see. We eventually have to get to 4. But see, we should be good now. Even if it takes us a long time to kill these two, we should be good. Okay. So it looks like we do have one here, and then we should have 2 in the I was going to call it the north, but apparently that is the west. So we'll pull the one on the left with the throw, and then hit this one, and there we go. Should be good. In a sense, it is good that my AoE missed, because I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a breather before I have to do this last phase. I should not have thrown at that light. That was a mistake. Okay. We might be able to salvage this, but you really do have to go quickly. This is designed for 6 people to quickly pull these 4 lights. I'm gonna call them whites, but yep, too slow. Wow. We can do it though. That tells me we can. I know I've done it with characters that have ranged before. I don't know that I've ever tried to solo this on, like, I'd say champion is the most comparable if I've ever done it on a class like that where the range is very limited though. By the way, I hope you all are enjoying the content during my break. I know it's kind of harder for me to keep up with what's going on in the community when I am on extended breaks like this. It's just, as far as YouTube goes at least, a little bit of unfortunate timing. And I know there's probably a lot of stuff going on with LOTRO. Oh wow, it's too slow with that one, really. A lot of stuff going on with LOTRO, with update 37 beta potentially starting actually while I am away. Among just other interesting news, I know we have the River Hobbits, which is part of update 37 or expected to be, and then the River Hobbit housing area. I believe that's supposed to be in Cardalin. So I guess it would technically be Swanfleet, but yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff that I could be missing out on, but we'll see how that all goes. Can always catch up later. I've just been having a lot of fun with LOTRO lately, to be honest. So that's why I feel a little bit more like I'm missing out with the update than I normally would be. Okay, let's actually do this a little bit better this time. Okay, we'll pull. Gotta go quick with that one, and then... Okay, I should have it. Now that they're all pulled, this shouldn't have any issue with resetting. Yeah, we did that, I would say, pretty flawlessly. Maybe could have gone a little bit faster, but I didn't lose, and that's the big point. Okay, we'll just start this off with a first strike, and you know what? I might as well just do a setup in the AoE, and then... Wow, we leveled up. Technically, we're over-leveled now. Okay, this fight might actually be a little bit more tough than the previous one, so I'm going to use, I have tons of potions. I also can remove my debuff. Oh no, if this is the long 15-second stun. Yeah, these guys actually have some health. They're elite masters, we have to fight 2 of them, but this is, in the 6-man instance, the first fight that we're actually having a little bit of pushback, which should be expected. So I'm actually impressed with the instance for that. Also, might as well use my not forgotten handkerchief. It's possible we'll have to switch to blue line. I'm hoping to stay DPS the whole time, but I'm really curious what the last boss will put up for us. Wow, my inventory is terrible. Sometimes I have a clean mess, but this is just a mess. Okay, I'm going to do my debuff, and then I'm going to get rid of my own debuff, and I'm actually going to use my cooldown abilities. I know that's a crazy strategy, but I'll try it this time. And then I think I will AoE here. I'm going to be a little bit greedy, but we got one of them down, so even if we die right here, we will have that one defeated. And then we'd be good to go back here, but I think with the stun, and actually I'll pummel here, we should be good. Oh wow, I have to actually get 7 more ancient chalices. I don't know if I've just been not paying attention. No, that's actually an outside of that. So I have quests from this character actually from the Barrow down. So those are from outside the instance. That's pretty neat. Also, for anybody curious, level 22, I got Follow Me, which is a run speed buff. I thought that was an attack speed boost. Whoops. Not the most useful in the fight we just had. I also do have a trait point I can spin, which actually unlocks me a set bonus. So this one's just when I P or E, parry or evade, I do a little bit of reflect. So this guy should be interesting. We'll see if we can defeat the good old Theater here. I think it really just depends how much damage he does to me, because I can't stun him. I might have to use a lot of my potions. Okay, I think I'm going to use my incoming damage buff, and then I might use... Oh, okay, I thought I died. Wow. There's like that little tiniest of hitches, and that actually made me think that I died there. Okay, so we're still in business here. We just gotta, when these ads come out, I feel like we just have to go super fast to get them out. Okay, we did the AoE one-shot the other guy right there. That's pretty nice. Keep using our debuff removal. What's R here? No, R is our interrupt. What's this ability I'm using? Knee strike? That useless thing is what I've been using. I forgot this character. Oh no, we have one of these elite masters. I don't think technically I have rejuvenation potions. Maybe we'll use those if we have to. But now so many minutes into this recording, and I just realized the ability that I've been using here, Knee Strike, is actually kind of it's not really a good ability. It slows enemies, but I don't really need that here. I just need damage, and the big benefit of Fulgurant Strike is it's actually immediate. So there aren't many long animations, but it's something that I could use to just basically immediately get a second hit on an enemy in a similar amount of time overall, considering the animation cancel plus the Fulgurant Strike animation. But immediate abilities are important for that, basically. I also realized I haven't had the cat cam up. How do y'all like the upgraded cat cam setup? Let me know. I could potentially use that when I get to streaming again, assuming at this point that I don't stream before I actually take my little break from recording this video at least. Okay, let's get this Bow Lord. We'll stun him early. And then apparently that AoE is super strong, so it'll knock out the signatures. Okay, I don't think I can quite kite this guy. I might try. I'm doing really bad on health this time. Yeah, this run in particular is quite rough here. I'm also pretty much out of power. Okay, we might be able to do this. I went ahead and used all my potions. Might not have been the best idea, because I really do think we would need those for the tougher encounters that we'll get to, because he's going to get his bubble like no matter what. It doesn't really matter how much damage I try to do to Theater there. I do like the little bit of pushback for the boss fight, but it seems manageable to where we could actually get it. So as we're running back here, I actually do want to ask y'all if you would like to see perhaps more content like this. I've kind of been thinking past few months really of different videos like this that I could do. This is one that almost was just laid into my lap. Again, I was getting a clip for a completely unrelated video. I'm like, wow, this character did a ton of damage to those mobs. Let's maybe see what he can do. But yeah, if I can think of other content that's just kind of generally similar to this, please do let me know if you would indeed like to see more. Okay, we'll go ahead and try to do a little bit better. I think the debuffs are one of the big hurters. I actually do have these potions. I don't know if I can use them in combat to remove. Yeah, it looks like I could use these in combat to remove the debuffs, which I'm gonna have to use 2 of these. See, this is a really bad start. I feel like the first run we had maybe the best luck is the way you could consider it, with just not taking too much damage, because I am taking a lot of damage now, it seems like. Okay, I think we're about to hit the really tough phase though. And I do have one more potion up. I'm going to go ahead and use it. And then what I'm hoping is, yeah, once the Gaunt Lord comes out, or Battle Caller as he's called here, and then I can stun him and hopefully just do a ton of damage to him right here. That would indeed be ideal. Okay, so now I think it's just Thader. If we can get through this part, I know I just used Knee Strike there, we can get him. We did. Wow, nice 15-second stun. Thader affected me from the grave. And let's see what we got for soloing level 20-ish Great Barrow on our DPS Brawler, who already has terrible gear, so everything should be an upgrade. And indeed, that is quite the upgrade over these kind of bad pieces. I think, oddly enough, I'll keep the evade rating one, even though I don't like that, just because the fate and vitality outweigh the little level 4 ring. So there we go. So based on that run of Thader, I would actually say that this character can indeed solo Great Barrow. We of course haven't tested the other 2 wings, so if you're interested in seeing me say complete this challenge and see if it's actually a legitimate conclusion, then please do let me know. Otherwise, again, I hope y'all enjoy this very random video with the Brawler, but I'm just really impressed with the character. That's the whole reason this video even exists, is how much he impressed me, and maybe makes me excited to potentially get back to my Brawler. We'll see. I just don't have the greatest connection to this character, but maybe a different Brawler in the future. We could see about getting a better Brawler for me. And perhaps one question to leave you all with before I go: what is perhaps the biggest accomplishment that you have achieved solo on your own Brawler? Is it something like a 6-man instance like Great Barrow, or have you done something that you think is even more challenging, or just a different type of content that was already challenging? Please do let me know. I'd be curious what people have actually accomplished with their Brawlers. And on that note, I hope you all did enjoy this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, everyone.